Attention!
Yes, sir! Sword, shield, peace, unity, respect!
Right foot back, fighting stance on the count, and stance. Karate jab on the count. Karate jab on the count, and jab.
Ice!
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 Cross on the count, and cross.
Ice!
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 Karate knee on the count, and knee.
Ice!
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 Karate snap kick on the count, and kick.
Ice!
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 Karate roundhouse kick on the count, and kick.
Ice!
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 Flying front kick on the count, and kick.
Ice!
Switch stances on the count, and switch. Karate jab on the count, and jab.
Ice!
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 Karate cross on the count, and cross.
Ice!
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 Karate knee on the count, and knee.
Ice!
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 Karate snap kick on the count, and kick.
Ice!
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 Karate roundhouse kick on the count, and kick.
Ice!
And kick.
Ice!
And kick.
Ice!
And kick.
Ice!
Flying front kick on the count, and kick.
Ice!
Hey, junior down team, attention!
Yes, sir!
And
Sword, shield, peace, unity, respect!
nice round of applause.
All right, our junior double team members are demonstrating some of their individual weapon techniques. They have practiced these skills for many weeks in preparation for this day. It is Miss Shake, Mr. Tran, and Miss Piper.
Miss Shake is 5 years old, youngest student ever get her yellow belt and orange belt. Miss Piper, her younger sister, George Piper. They just learned these flowers, it's called, not long ago.
All right, let's get our next group out there, Mr. Hogarth, Mr. Pups, and Mr. Elioto.
Traditional martial arts weapon in Nunchuka, originally used as a bridle for horses. Used to be two pieces of wood with twine in between it.
And now Mr. Rattay and Mr. Newman are going to demonstrate a staff versus staff sequence. All right, Miss Gigi and Miss D'Amato are going to demonstrate Shunai versus Shunai. Now, Ms. Pula and Mr. Sharma demonstrate some staff techniques. Mr. Sharma has a very short stick, but when you're that tiny, you can be used as a staff. Next, Mr. Piper and Mr. DeMary.
Is that really hard to get your whole body in?
It's a little tricky.
But you just try to crawl in, and this is fine for demos where you can shoot back around that.
Wait,
All right, next, Mr. Holmes and Mr. Shake.
Wilson, take a picture now.
Newest members of the Black Belt Club, demonstrating some Chinese broadsword techniques with wooden broadswords that were received when they joined the Black Belt Club.
Ice! Ice!
start out with a wooden sword, and once they get good enough that we know they're not going to cut anybody accidentally, then they get their real sword.
Boys!
All right, let's give a round of applause for our junior demo team.
All right, where are we going?
Forward, come on.
Attention! We'll do individual empty hand work first. First up is Mr. Elton and Robbie Cadali. Guys are demonstrating different karate, taekwondo, and kung fu type of moves, blocks and strikes, maintaining good mobility and balance in their techniques. Next, Mr. Grubich and Mr. Sanjeev Kadali.
Nice! Nice!
Again, they've been practicing these moves for a while. They're both brown belts in our system,
Nice!
showing good control in their techniques. Next, Mr. Lincoln Devine and Ethan Stork. Ethan Stork is a second-degree brown belt, practicing different kicks and strikes. Mr. Devine also practicing his punches and the spinning heel kick right there. The oldest Kadali, Rajiv Kadali and David Wirtz. Getting a little higher in rank right now, getting a little bit older. Mr. Wirtz, former student of the year. Also with the demo team as well. Rajiv Kadali, again, oldest of the three Kadali brothers on the demo team. Demonstrating good power in his technique. And last, Mr. Mead and Mr. Steinoffel. Mr. Mead is a former Taekwondo stylist. He's a black belt in Taekwondo. Here he's trying to earn his black belt in karate as well. Part of the Mead family and practices martial arts here. And James Steinoffel, new black belt a couple months ago. He's also assistant demo captain. Helps out with the demo team quite a bit. And line up. Weapons. First up, Mr. Elton. He will demonstrate staff kata. Trying to show good speed and power in his technique. And next, Robbie Kadali. Mr. Elton is working a wooden staff, whereas Mr. Kadali is working a speed staff here. This helps him do the moves a little bit quicker and flashier. Staff's also lighter in weight. Next, Mr. Lincoln Devine. Mr. Devine here is practicing tonfas. These weapons are great for blocks and short-range strikes. A lot of the moves are very similar to empty hand moves, except he has tonfa weapons in his hands. Next, Mr. Sanjeev Kadali. He will be demonstrating nunchucks. Nunchuck is a flexible weapon, takes a lot of coordination and timing with this weapon. He has to let the weapon roll around his hand. Keep a loose grip. Next, Mr. Grubich. Unbeknownst to me, he's been practicing this weapon for a while. The first time I got to see him work this a few months ago, I was very impressed. This is the katana. Later you'll see Shinai's, as these kids will attack each other, the wooden version of this. This is the sharp version. Showing very good control and speed with this weapon. Next, Mr. Stork. Ethan Stork, former katana practitioner, now is practicing with weapons called kamas. Short-range weapon like the tonfas, but they got the hooked blade on the end. Next, Rajiv Kadali will demonstrate some staff. Even though staff and nunchuck are some of the first weapons he ever learned, this weapon has a wide range of uses. Show a little bit of staff kata, the monkey style grip. Showing good speed and power. He's also throwing in some spear-like moves as well. Next, David Wirtz, Chinese broadsword. katana is quick, short, stabbing-like weapon. Chinese broadsword, the strikes are more circular. The blocks that he's doing around his body is in case an opponent attacks him from any angle. This type of weapon you have to learn to move with next. James Steinoffel will be doing speed stab. Yeah. Now the demo team will demonstrate mass attack. This form is a series of offensive and defensive movements. They will try to do these in unison. It's called mass attack because you're learning to attack and defend against a mass group of people, which they will later demonstrate. Mr. Stork will be the defender in the middle, whereas the rest of the demo members out here will be the aggressors. So as they finish this kata right now, they'll move into the fight scene position. Mr. Stork is doing all the same movements that they all just practiced in unison. Don't worry, he's okay. So that's the first half of that. Now, tonight, Mr. Elton and Mr. Divine. We'll go through 3 of the sequences with the shinai before practicing with the katana weapon, which is the long-bladed weapon that Mr. Grupus was practicing before. The students learn to practice with these wooden weapons as well. The students that would practice kendo would use these weapons for a long, long time before they were ever awarded their bladed katana. Next, the Kadali brothers. These brothers, we let them get their aggression out by attacking each other with swords. They're showing good coordination, speed, and power in these techniques. They've been working this for a while.
All right, now the double team is going to do
Right now, Mr. Mead, come on up. He will show you some of his individual staff work. Breeze back up a little bit. Practicing good speed, power, and control with this weapon. Mr. Mead has worked staff in his Taekwondo school as well as here, so he's learning a wide variety of techniques. He's getting real good with this weapon. Next, Mr. Steinoffel will be demonstrating the staff kata. This is the form that we teach for a 3rd degree brown belt at this school. Staff kata, he's doing it with great speed and control right now. He's been practicing this form for a long time. Back even when I joined this martial arts school in 2008, I remember Mr. Steinoffel was just finishing this form. So he's been doing it for about 5-6 years. And next, with staff forms, Ravi Kadali and Mr. Elton, they will be demonstrating some of their own staff techniques. Give each other some space. They've been working on their own staff katas for a while. They want to demonstrate some different staff forms for the Rally Center coming up, showing a wide range of techniques. We teach them many different staff styles, double overhand grip or wide baseball grip, different ways of doing blocks and attacks with the staff. This weapon has a very wide variety of use and techniques. All right, and next you'll see first staff form, Mr. Steinoffel and Mr. Kadali. They will be attacking each other with these weapons. This is the form that they learn. It's similar to the shinai versus shinai form. Again, practicing different blocks and strikes with this weapon. We're trying to do these moves as quick as possible.
How do you like it?
The Japanese style of staff strikes and defense. One more sequence. And finish. And next, Mr. Ethan Stork and Mr. David Wirtz will be demonstrating two-person monkey staff. This is a kung fu form that I taught them recently. They will show you the double overhand grip and how they use the staff in attack and defense while also moving their body around into the various positions for their blocks and strikes. Again, this is monkey style kung fu. So here they're showing a wide range of techniques. You've seen some taekwondo staff work. You've seen some karate staff work. Continue push. And they're getting some stage fright right now. That's all right. And forward blocks, good. First time performing this one. And lastly, we shall have three-man staff. This is another kung fu form. We're going to have the three Kadali brothers demonstrate. And so all the Kadali brothers get to work together, youngest to oldest. Each one of them gets a chance to be an attacker and a defender. So at all times there's one person being attacked by two, and they each repeat the same sequence of moves. Showing good jumps over those sleeves. This is the second half of this form. They have to work in unison. It gets tougher the more people you add to it. Round of applause now for some board breaks. That's some more board breaks. Two front kicks for breaks right now. One more try, Mr. Mead. Good follow through with that kick. Round of applause. Good try, Mr. Mead. Mr. Devine is going to try a board break right now. Nice. Very good. And Mr. Ethan Stork will be last. Mr. Stork practices his kicks and flexibility quite often. So he's going to be trying a jump spinning thrust kick. More follow through. Alright. Very difficult technique. And awards. Alright, back in the awards. Ethan Grubich, brown belt. Just gave you a portion of what he's working before. Now he's going to give you the whole thing. Again, with this weapon, it's very sharp and bladed on the one side. The Chinese call it a large knife because the blade is just on one side. Practicing different drawing techniques with the sword. That is from the art of Iai. Kendo deals more with the strikes. Really demonstrating the moves and showing the different techniques that go with these. Good stances. And next, Mr. Ethan Stork and David Wirtz will be demonstrating their forms with the kama and the Chinese broadsword. Working these moves in unison. So this is the sharp-bladed weapon portion of the demo. Takes a lot of control with these weapons. I have to trust them that they'll be very careful in how they use these weapons when they're around others, and even just for themselves. As you swing these weapons with good speed, we have to use very good control technique. Very advanced martial artists in order to use these weapons. And next, Mr. Rajiv Kadali is going to demonstrate the spear. Many of the moves are similar to the staff moves that you saw them demonstrate earlier, but now you have the point on the end. This weapon is known for its distance-like strikes. So Mr. Kadali will be showing those thrusts, sweeps, and how he uses the whole length of the weapon in his attacks and the defense. Practicing some different Kung Fu style strikes and blocks. And lastly, as far as weapons, co-demo team captain Joe Fleierstein. He will be doing double broadsword. And so the range of techniques you can do with 2 weapons is actually a little more limited than when you have just one. And he has to use the weapons in unison. You have to know broadsword with your left and your right arm in order to do these techniques. And learning a weapon with your weak hand can be very difficult to do. Again, demonstrating good coordination, balance, and speed. He's got to use both weapons at the same time while not harming himself, and showing good strikes moving forward and backwards. Not the easiest thing to do, but he makes it look easy. He's been practicing this for quite some time. And after this, we will be demonstrating our last board breaks. We'll have the last of our awards, and then we'll have a brick break. So board breaking. Then we will have Mr. Wertz and then Mr. Steinoff. Each of them are going to be doing 2 board breaks. Spinning thrust kick. And a ridge hand strike. Good control, good power. One more try. One more commitment on that last strike there. Holding is just as important as breaking, so the holder's got to make sure they're keeping the board nice and solid for the strike to penetrate the board. Make sure their thumbs are on the side, dropping elbow and a chop. Good speed strike. And lastly, Mr. Steinoff on a black belt. We'll be doing 2 board breaks, and we'll have the last of our awards. Then the brick break as well. So he's going to be doing a palm strike. And a reverse elbow.
Nice! Nice!
There you go. Let me try a different kind of break.
All right, nice round of applause.